And when the chemical turns purple red, as you see here, it means there's a chemical reaction that has taken place. Have you ever noticed this orange specks on your vehicle after washing it? And you notice that even though you washed it, it didn't come off? So this is accumulation of different environmental contaminants like iron and brake dust that has now bonded to your paint, to the top layer, the clear coat. And these spots cannot be removed by simply washing the car. So there's two things you could do and use to be able to remove these orange specks. So all this here, it's really caked on bonded contaminants. So all this bonded to the paint, so it means even after washing it, as you can see, it doesn't come off. Here as well, you can see still there. So that can only be removed with the clay bar. First thing you're going to want to use is an iron remover. This is Adam's iron remover. And this is a chemical that will start to chemically start dissolving and breaking down all those bonded contaminants. But the thing about this is this chemical is pretty strong as far as the smell. It's a very strong, nasty smell. The chemical is so strong that you want to make sure you use a respirator or a mask. And preferably, I'm at a client's house, so I don't have that opportunity. But you want to do this when there's shade. So either you wait for sundown or early in the morning, or you park somewhere where there's shade. But basically, you're going to spray your iron decontamination. You're going to spray affected areas. And then you're going to let it dwell for as long as possible without it drying on the panel. 1 to 2 minutes if possible. Again, you don't want to do this in the sun. I just don't have any other choice because I'm working on a client's vehicle in the house. And as you can tell, the chemical, it'll start turning like a blood, like a purple, like a reddish purple. And when the chemical turns purple red, as you see here, it means there's a chemical reaction that has taken place of the chemical coming in contact with those bonded contaminants. It's just indicating that it's working and that there are a lot of bonded contaminants. So you're gonna let it dwell for, again, about a minute or two. Do not let it dry. You can spray the chemical a little bit more if it's drying. As you can see, the contamination is pretty much all around the vehicle. These areas at the top of the doors sometimes are some of the harder areas to reach with the next tool that we're going to use to remove it, which is a clay bar. So I like to spray in those areas. And also, like you see here, the trunk, there's a whole bunch of contamination going on here. It's just full of it. The roof is another huge one because of how flat the panels are. Okay, so the next thing is you're going to use a clay bar. This right here is a synthetic clay sponge, and as you can see, it has these holes. Basically, to help you understand, what we're doing is we're going to shave off, in a way, the remaining bonded contaminants. And basically, you're going to need to have some form of lubrication. So I put soap on the car again. You can use a rinseless wash, you can use a detail spray, you can use soap. And basically, you just want to make sure you always have lubrication in the area where you're going to work. And you're basically going to glide this, the clay bar, in this case, the synthetic clay sponge. You're just gliding it. You apply zero pressure. You apply no pressure at all. This way you make sure that you're not marring the surface. You're just gliding it. And you just have to continue doing it, and it's gonna go from sounding very coarse and feeling very coarse to sounding and feeling very smooth as it should be. So as you can see, after the iron remover and the clay bar, the industrial fallout, the brake dust, the iron particles, they are no longer there. As you can see, this car also does have a lot of swirls. It's been through the ton of car wash a lot and not properly maintained over the course of its life. But now, once you put your sealant or wax, now it's going to bond directly to the clear coat and not to the contaminants that were on the surface of the clear coat. So if you had just applied your wax without doing those two steps, it's almost like putting cologne without taking a shower. It would only mask the problem, it would not solve it. So the way to do it properly is you want to remove the bonded contaminants, open up those pores from the paint, and then put your wax or sealant so it bonds directly, lasts longer, and it gives it more of a gloss. I hope this helps.